Mom says it's just an expression of love. What do other people say?
What you're doing is destructive.
I think it's nice. I might even do that.
You're going to be causing a tremendous amount of damage for what you're doing.
What?
How far is too far when it comes to loving your child? On the next Montel Williams Show.
The Montel Williams Show. See for yourself today at 4 on Channel 4.
Thank you very much for being here again today. Like you've been here every day, I tell you, we have a very, very interesting show for you today because right now in this current wave of social, change and with psychologists and psychiatrists out here telling us all how to raise our children and how to nurture our children, there are a lot of books out there. And today we're going to present a book that I think you might find a little interesting. What crosses the line when it comes to raising your children? I want you to take a look at this tape. Take a look at this.
Your beauty will make me exquisite.
Your beauty will make me
What
exquisite.
you are watching, the bride here is the mother. The groom is her 4.5-year-old son.
An allegiance of truth.
And what they are doing is going through a marriage ceremony to love, honor, and cherish till death do them part. A mother and her 4.5-year-old son. Wait a minute, I'm saying this again. A mother and her 4.5-year-old son being married and being told that they will love and honor each other for eternity. Joining us are Rochelle, Riley, and her son, Michael. Rochelle has written a book that's titled, How to Make Love to Your Child. Welcome her to the show today, please. Rochelle, I will tell you, when I saw the first news clip of this, I think the rest of the people in the country, just gasped when we listened to some of the things and the vows that you exchanged. Why don't you tell us what those vows were that you took?
The vows that I took were to promise my son and the presence of others that I would always be the best mother I can possibly be. And
you also said things like you will love, right?
Love. I gave to you the gift of life wrapped with a never-ending ribbon. We can go on and on. I promise to always cherish and adore you, yes.
And then he basically echoed those same vows?
No, he did not return the vows. I took the vows.
You took the vows?
Right.
What, is this just symbolic, a representation of, how much you love yourself?
Well, it felt wonderful for me to be able to express these promises that all parents promise themselves when they have a child. And the vows enable me to make these promises to always be kind, understanding, loving, patient, in front of everybody. So now I have taken these promises in front of everyone, so you all know I made these promises to him, and I really have to live up to them.
But, why not just accept the fact that you gave birth to him, and that's a big enough promise?
Because I was so overwhelmed by love, I wanted to take it that one step further.
Now, what happened in your life? I guess you're the father of Michael.
Yes, my father was suddenly killed. I'm sorry, his father was suddenly killed.
Suddenly killed?
Mm-hmm. In a robbery. He was robbed.
All right, now, I want to go. I have a son that's being born right now. I don't feel like I would have to go and marry him to tell him that I love him. And it was
something I wanted to do. My husband and I discussed it, and we would have done it together. Had he been here, he would have taken the vows with me also. Mm-hmm. But it was something I wanted to do. Take that commitment one step further, to celebrate our reunion and to establish the fact that I am going to always be there for him and be as wonderful to him as I possibly can.
What kind of impact do you think this has had on Michael? I mean, right now he's 4.5, 5 years old, and in his mind, he may grow up and be like age 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and feel like he cannot be married because he's married to his mom.
No, I don't think so. I've made that very clear to him. And with him growing up in the household with me, he'll understand it.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
What if you had a daughter?
I would do the same thing. And as a matter of fact, my sister plans to do it with her daughter, who is my niece.
Okay. Yes, sir.
I think it's nice. I mean, it's not like it's nothing sexual, nothing. She's just showing her love. And I think it's very beautiful. I have a son that's with my wife that's 15 months old, and I think it's nice. I might even do that. I mean, it's just showing how much you love your child, and there's nothing wrong with that at all.
Don't you think we're sending some mixed messages? I'll tell you what, we're also joined by Rochelle's best friend, whose name is Tanya, who is also has a little interesting philosophy about raising a child. Your son is, what, 4.5 years old?
Yes.
And you sleep with your son at 4.5 years old every day?
Yes, my son still sleeps in the bed with me. He comes and gets in my bed with me.
And during the course of the night, you hug him, you hold him?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Well, don't you think that you're sending this 4.5-year-old child a odd message?
No, I do not. I really do not. I feel that there's nothing wrong with my son in the bed with me cuddling him. It's nothing incestuous. I like to cuddle with my son. I like to hold him. I like for him to hold me.
Well, how about cuddling with him during the day and letting him go to his own bed at night?
Well, there's no problem. There's no problem with him, you know, going to his own bed at night. But if he prefers to sleep with me, he can do so. It gives children a sense of security to be there with mommy and daddy in the scary, dark night. My son sleeps with me also. He has since birth.
Okay. Yes,
Montel, I wanted to ask, what happens if she has more than one kid? Are she going to marry all of them? Because I have 3 kids.
I would take the vow with
I can't.
every single one of my children. I will.
But that's not fair to them. They should make their own decision when they grow up if they want to marry their mother, not yours.
They'll understand the decision I made when they grow up.
Yes.
First of all...
Wait a minute.
Okay, I want to ask you a question. What would happen if he gets older and he wants to get married? Would will you give him the divorce?
That's wonderful. No, I don't have to give him a divorce. No, he understands that our marriage is between parent and child, and he could, of course, he can have a wife.
Yeah, but now, I mean, when you're talking about mixed messages, though, the mixed message would be, you don't know what kind of message he has.
It isn't a mixed message. We've discussed it. He totally understands.
Well, they keep saying marriage, but it's more like she's just saying she's making vows to her son. She's not saying that she's actually marrying
Yeah,
him.
but you know what? Let me tell you something. Take a look back at that tape. Let's get the tape ready to run again, because she is standing there in a wedding gown. And as a child, 2, 3, 4 years old...
Well, the word marriage means to bond and form a strong union. That's right. So you can use the word companies marry when they merge.
Yeah, but I mean, it's...
So we're merging. Why not use the term marriage?
Okay, so why not just do
and
that
the vows
and go...
are original. They're not the traditional marriage vows.
Why not just sit down with your son across the table without a minister or any people there and say, I love you, I will honor and cherish you, and tell him that every day, rather than go through the ceremony...
But I wanted to celebrate. You know something I would like to say? I feel that there's nothing wrong at all what she did. She expressed her love for her child. She did it publicly. There is nothing wrong with it whatsoever, and I think it was a beautiful thing.
All right,
you know, because you have a lot of mothers and fathers, but how many parents do you have?
Okay.
I have a question to you. You keep on saying your son understands. I have a 4.5-year-old son, and I ask him to sit down for 2 minutes and listen to me, and he doesn't listen to me.
Okay.
He doesn't
well, my
understand
son and I
anything.
have that harmony. That's your 4-year-old son. He's a different 4-year-old child.
Well, I'm looking at a regular...
My son and I have a harmony. We've been together for 5 years.
Michael.
So we have that harmony of understanding.
Michael, how you doing? You okay? Huh? Are you okay with all this?
Yes.
You like it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now, how does it make you feel knowing that your mom has done this for you?
Wonderful.
It does make you feel wonderful? Why?
Because I love that.
You love that? Do you love your mom? Now, do you think that you would love your mom the same had she not done that?
Mm-hmm.
Would you have loved your mother if she didn't put on a wedding dress?
Yes.
Did you need that wedding dress for you to understand that your mom loved you?
Mm-hmm.
You did. See, okay, you may tell me that he understands this, but I'm not real sure that he does. Yes, sir.
Well, he's also nervous.
Of course.
I think the vows between Rochelle and Mike, I think it's beautiful. I mean, it's just an expression of love. I just have a question for Tanya. Are you married?
No, I am not.
I was just wondering, if you did get married, eventually you'd be sharing a bed with a man. Wouldn't you be afraid that maybe...
She lives with the child's father. So
oh, she does.
we're together, we're not married. But when we do get married, it will be the 3 of us up there together.
I was wondering, do you think maybe your son would feel alienated?
It will be.
Or maybe he would alienate your husband?
Wait a minute, say that again.
Maybe you think that your son would feel alienated if your husband came in place and, you know, he came to the bed, and... Or would you...
She's living with him now, so the husband's in the bed, right?
Yeah.
Oh, he is?
So the 3 of you are in bed?
Yeah. Sometimes, yeah.
So if the 3 of you are in bed together, don't you think this is like an odd message to be sending to a child?
No, I do not. This is my child. I feel that there's nothing wrong with a child sleeping with his parents. Well, there's nothing incestuous about it at all.
Right, but even if you're not married, I'm sure you're sleeping together, you're having sex. What are you supposed to do with your child?
Sex does not have to take place in the bedroom. It really doesn't.
So every time you sleep together at night and you say you just get the feeling you want to make love, you can't because your son is right there.
Oh, we have more than one bedroom.